NBA Straya. How are you going? How you going? Are you right? You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's the day before the draft. It's Wednesday, June 25, and basically the week's done because tomorrow's the NBA draft. The first round, we got the second round on Friday. So your week, just basically pack. After you listen to this, just say that Jim said the week is done, all right? So today's show, I am your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studio with NBA Australia's big NBA draft preview. Basically going to go through the first round, talk out who I like and where. Because you know me, I spend all my time talking NBA. We're basically just going into this going, what does this team need and who kind of fits, you know? So that's how we're going to break down the NBA draft for you before it all happens. And of course, trade chaos. Chaos reigns. KD got traded, as we talked about on Monday. Jrue Holiday traded. CJ McCollum traded. The extreme Zinger meal. He got traded. So we're going to talk about all of that and how it all sort of works out. Kyrie got extended. The latest on Tyrese Halliburton. We'll do some quick yeah-nahs and unpopular opinion of the day in Outback Takehouse. And then just look at some of the odds for the draft. Just a really quick one at the end. So without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1294 of NBA Australia. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And 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 you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Australia.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better watch out for this Shams alert attack. Jeez, what a busy couple of days it has been. You sort of, you hear the squids jumping out of bed. Thump, thump, thump. Thump, thump, thump. And you're like, oh, God. You roll over, you pick up your phone, and there's like 3 different Shams alerts. Because we got some trades. Don't mind this as well. It's pretty good. Because this draft, and I think literally, so we're taping this at like 1 o'clock the day before the draft. So in the next 22 hours, it's just going to be chaos.
Yeah, it's going to be fun on the bun.
It's going to be fun on the bun. I can't wait. So let's start today's show the way we start every show here at NBA Australia with a daily whip around. Let's start with those trades. We break this down on Monday's show. Kevin Durant being traded to Houston. The more that I've sat with it, the more I love it. And I don't mind it for Phoenix either. Getting number 10, so getting your own pick back. Getting Jalen Green, the number 3 pick from just a couple of years ago. High upside, still-ish, even though he's wildly inconsistent and Steve Francis 2.0. Look, it gives you options. And the other one is Dylan Brooks. For all his dipshittery, still has value as a defender. The weird part for Phoenix is, like, literally, they've got 87 shooting guards on this roster, and that's it. Like, it's fucked. So, anyway, 5 second rounders as well. As I've sort of pointed out as well, second rounders are now, even if you look at this year's draft, there are some pretty decent names in this second round this year. But also, it's just a really easy way to add talent really, really cheaply because your second rounders aren't getting, actual guaranteed contracts. So, you get to kick the tires on people, see a bit of talent, just see how it goes, right? Which is kind of cool. But still, it felt like Phoenix were trying to win the press release. 5 second rounders. Wow, 5 is a big number of draft picks. It's like, yeah, but they might all just be shit. Anyway, as mentioned, the fascinating trade mechanics of this as well, where Dylan Brooks, they'd basically be sending out more money than they're returning, etc. if you're Phoenix. But because Dylan Brooks would be going somewhere where playoff bonus is less likely. It doesn't actually count against the cap. Very, very weird. So Houston, look, they get Kevin Durant. They get their late in the shot clock offensive killer to go with that insane defense. Ime Udoka, he will just love this. He's like, just give him the ball. Give the tall, good guy the ball. She'll be right, mate. We're going to work on our D. They get what? The second apron sort of problems for Phoenix. They're sort of dealing with this. They get some talent. They get some draft capital. Win-win. Right move for both. Now, the interesting stuff. You better believe it. Oh, yeah.
Interesting stuff.
The Boston Celtics are blowing it up. Kind of. Jrue Holiday and the Extreme Zinger Meal.
Extreme Zinger Meal.
Your 2024 NBA champions are gone, which is pretty interesting. Now, first, the Jrue Holiday trade. What the hell was this? Jrue Holiday traded back to Portland from Boston. You might remember he was part of the Dame Lillard trade, goes to Portland, doesn't play for them, gets traded to Boston, wins another title. Not bloody bad. He's part of this trade, and what? They give up 2 second-rounders to Boston, and Anthony Penny Simons goes to the Celtics. This is awesome. If you're the Celtics, this gets out of $40 million worth of luxury tax and another, I think the difference is $70 million long-term across these two contracts, which is crazy. Anthony Penny Simons is talented. His defense is a bit lackadaisical, but Jesus Christ, you put him in the Joey Muzz machine, and we'll see what happens. He can at least shoot the piss out of the threes. He can handle the ball a little bit. And with Jason Tatum down and just basically you rolling out there with Derek White and Jaylen Brown, I kind of fucking love the fit. That's awesome. The flip side is, I know we've got Portland fans out there. Doesn't this feel like a bit of a fucking disaster? You traded a 26-year-old, 27-year-old on an expiring $27 million contract for a 35-year-old point guard who's still owed $100 million over the next 3 years. You get way older and you take on way more money, and you're sending out the picks to grease the skids. What the bloody hell? Jrue might also just be cooked. He was shit house this year and he was injured. I don't know. But I guess for Portland, I can see the idea. They're just like, fuck it. We've got to clear out the decks a little bit for Scoot and Shade and Sharp. But to not get a pick where the other team desperately needs to salary dump this player, i.e. Jrue Holiday and his big extended contract, and you're giving up the younger talent is a fucking horror show. Let me know what you reckon there, Portland fans, because wow, did they get fucked. Absolutely just bent over and ripping. Anyway, and then the other one for the Celtics was the Supercharged Zinger Burger.
Supercharged Zinger Burger.
Going out today in a three-way trade with Atlanta and the Brooklyn Nets. The Extreme Zinger Meal.
Extreme Zinger Meal.
And a second goes to the Atlanta Hawks, Kakar. George Niang, friend of the program. And a second go to Boston. So they basically trade from Zinger down to George. Interesting. And Brooklyn just sort of jump in and go, hello, we'll help all this actually work. They take Trae Young and his only $15.5 million contract over the next 3 years and number 22 in this year's draft. So, interesting three-way here. Brooklyn make out like fucking bandits, if you ask me, just using their cap space, getting their fifth first in this year's draft. Fifth. They've got 5 first in this year's draft. They've got 8, 19, 22, 26, and 27. And they get a free look at Trae Young. That's awesome. Great work by Brooklyn, because basically this means they've got all the ammo to basically go, look, anybody ahead of us in the draft, we've got 8, 19, 22, 26, and 27. Want to swap spots? Could they get as high as 5? 4? 3? Who knows? It's chaos. They've also got like this entire battery of young talent that's not, very good, but they do have contracts there in Brooklyn. So who knows what could happen. Now, Boston, they get below the second luxury tax apron in swapping out Porzingis and Niang, which is massive, because Boston created a $22.5 million trade exception. But overall, they wipe off a fucking staggering $196 million for next year's tax bill. It's only like $28 million in actual salary, but almost 200 mil because they're so far above like the luxury tax. It's fucking crazy. So, not bad. And Atlanta, they get a center who can actually do stuff like shoot and block shots that isn't Clint Capella. I actually kind of love this for the Hawks because they've got Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Zachary Rissache, and now the Extreme Zinger Mill.
Extreme Zinger Meal.
And their entire thing is they've got this $25 million trade exception from the DeJounte Murray trade. They're still $30 million below the tax line. They can still make moves. So, and the same goes for Brooklyn too. They're still $37.5 million worth of cap space just sitting there waiting to take on your shit and give them more picks. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, bit of a tough one for Boston. If you're the Celtics, you're like, cool, we got Anthony Simons in that trade for Jrue Holiday. That's awesome. And then you give up the Zinger for George Niang, which is a little bit of a tougher pill to swallow because Zinger, look, when he's actually healthy, which is, let's face it, fucking never, is very, very handy and very good. George Niang is solid. I love George Niang, don't get me wrong, but he's solid. Now they're going to figure out, like, hey, we're going to play Luke Cornett a lot more. We've got old-ass Al Horford over here. Don't know how long that's going to last. I've got some questions there in Boston. And then the other big trade, CJ McCollum. Mr. McCollum goes to Washington. CJ McCollum traded to the Washington Wizards with Kelly Olynyk and a second-round pick in exchange for Jordan Poole, Big Sadiq Bey, and number 40 in this year's draft. So, pretty interesting move by the Pelicans going, yeah, we'll get a little bit younger. We've got Poole. We get a free look at Sadiq Bey coming off his ACL. We get a second-rounder in this year's draft. It does also sort of feel, because remember, they've got the number 7 pick, the Pelicans. Feels like it's clearing the decks a little bit for a draft pick, whether it be Trey Johnson, Jeremiah Fears, stuff like that. They might also just keep fucking Poole on his bike and just keep him moving, because Jordan Poole, DeJounte Murray, when he comes back from his Achilles, whenever that might be next year, I'm not entirely convinced this is the end of the Pelicans' moves. So we'll see what happens. But Bey, look, solid wing when he's actually healthy, which again is very rare, which is a damn shame because I think he's pretty bloody good. But there you go, CJ McCollum to Washington. And the Pelicans sort of sitting there going, yeah, no CJ, we're just going full round Zion. Check this out. For the Wizards, this is just fucking strange, isn't it? They get another adult in the room, I guess. They got this weird roster where it's Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, CJ McCollum, and Chris Middleton. Like, you've just got this, like, roster, almost a starting lineup of, like, super solid, weird old veterans. And it makes you wonder if Washington are like, well, this is kind of cool. We've got, like, this really good inbuilt infrastructure now where we've got young dudes like Bilal Coulibaly, Alexander Sarr, Corey Kispert, and obviously Bub Carrington from last year too. Could they withstand the likes of an Ace Bailey? Because they've got a bunch of old heads around him to sort of keep him on the straight and narrow. I say, maybe. But anyway, that was a weird one. CJ, he's just going to be like, what the hell, man? I just want to hang out. I just want to be cool and just enjoy the bloody New Orleans gumbo. Anyway, so CJ, don't mind that. And then the last little bit of news, Kyrie Irving signed an extension with the Mavericks. You might remember he blew his ACL, which sucked, declined his $43 million player option for this year in exchange for a 3-year, $119 million contract. So with the Mavs on the clock about to take Cooper Flag, just a nice reminder that Dallas next year basically get to throw the number 1 pick into an incredible situation where they've already got Anthony Davis, a bunch of solid veterans there, and Cooper Flag doesn't have to do it all, but has to do a little bit because they don't have Kyrie back, right? Pretty interesting. So there you go. Mavs, look, we know that Nico's already gone fucking balls deep in this entire thing of like defense wins championships and then fucking signs Kyrie Irving to a $120 million 3-year extension when he's like $1 billion old. Go fucking figure that out. But at the same time, they get Cooper Flag. You put him next to Derek Lively and Anthony Davis in that front court, and hello, nurse. Don't fucking mind it. But then, of course, your backcourt is Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving. And defense wins championships. Bullshit, you fucking moron. Hey, let's do a draft preview right after this break. Oh, yes.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're
Australia.
listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
All right, are you ready? for the 2025 NBA draft preview. You better bloody well be. We are going to be doing a live stream of the draft tomorrow, so all the reactions will basically just set up the camera and I'll sit here and watch it with you. So have that streaming, jump on the socials. What'll be on YouTube, Twitter, Facey. Don't know if I bother with Instagram. Anyway, it's going to be awesome. I think we're going to go from around 10 a.m. tomorrow, maybe 10:30, seeing how we go. I do have a phone consultation with my doctor regarding my Achilles, so we'll see what happens there, but I think I'm all right. Anyway, draft preview. Let's do it. First things first. Hey, you know I can go and get completely fucked? No, Jim. What? Listing people's heights without shoes. Because, and I put this to you mildly, who fucking cares how tall they are without shoes? Until they start playing fucking barefoot in the NBA, I don't give a shit. I want motherfuckers' height while they're going to be on the fucking NBA court. It makes no fucking sense. It's like, oh, well, he's 6'2 3/4. What is he in shoes? Dunno. Well, is he wearing any shoes when he's playing in the NBA? Yes. Then fucking goddamn measure him that way. Jesus. It's fucked. Seriously. They don't list you on Basketball Reference with your height without shoes. So what are all the draft guys? It's fucking stupid. Right. Number 2. Hey, Jim, what are the best names in the draft this year? Well, we've got a bunch of really, really good names. And we don't actually talk enough about how fucking stupid and American Cooper Flagg's name is. Like, Cooper is the most American shit. It's like Cooper Manning. Just Coopers is fuck. And so, hey, what are you named after? Oh, I'm named after a bloke who makes barrels. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? Anyway, Cooper, and his last name is Flagg. And he's just American as fuck. He also looks like, quite literally, if you AI'd an American, what you would end up with. It's crazy. Cooper Flagg. Great name, though, for a number 1 pick. The actual really cool names in this draft. Number 1. Cedric Coward. Jesus, that is... How do you end up with that last name? Fuck me. What was he? French dude. Joan Berengar. Sounds like a 70s actress. Berengar. I don't know if it's Berengar, but Berengar. Either way. Kind of interesting big from France. Obviously, Con Knipple. Americans are fucked. Like, at some point, you're going to go, I don't know, should we just change our last name from Knipple? You fucking, what are we doing? Con Knipple. Danny Wolf is an awesome name. One of the great, like, anytime you've got like a sick fucking animal in your last name, that's radical. Neek Clifford. I love Neek. That is a fucking sick name. Kasparas Yakochonis. Love him from Illinois. Yannick Niederhauser. Chaz Lanier. Not bad. Obviously, our man, Rocco Zikarsky. We don't talk enough about how awesome his name is for a dude who's 7'40". Caleb Love. Derek Queen. A couple of nice ones in there. It only hit me the other day as well. Like Alex Toohey. Once he's drafted and actually makes the NBA, we'll have 2 blokes from Australia named after beers playing in the NBA. That's fucking awesome. Like, now I can't wait for, like, Little Creatures Clements. That might be the baby. He's a fucking menace, I'll tell you. But what would I name him after? What's my favorite beer? Probably, what is it? Bolter XPA Clements. There you go. Not bad. XPA Clements is actually a pretty good one. Bodrigi Clements. Get him out there. Go get him, Bodrigi. That's awesome. All right. That's some fun names. Nick Clifford, Igor. I love Igor Demon as well. Igor Ezengay. Oh, I don't know, is he? Tommy Sorba. The other Jason Richardson's kid, which is pretty fun. Yeah, there's some pretty good ones. But as soon as I saw Cedric Coward, I'm like, Jesus, that's rough. Right, Jim, what's going to happen in the draft? Well, what is going to happen? Let's play some songs just in the background. Obviously, I'm no draft expert, but, you know, I watch a bit of college hoops here and there and all this sort of shit, and you keep tabs on it throughout the year. But mainly, my approach is always going to be the team who is drafting in this spot. What do they need? And who kind of just fits that best based around, like, obviously what their draft stock is, what their ranking sort of looks like in the minute. And I think we did fucking amazing. I think it was last year, nailing like where dudes ended up, which was pretty chaotic anyway. So that was pretty good. Year before, not too bad as well. So it actually goes okay. But yeah, no interior insight or whatever. And as I said, we'll talk about some of the, the odds and stuff later on for like who goes where, etc. But for the minute, obviously, number one, your Dallas Mavericks are on the clock and are taking Cooper Flag. Just like Wemby, I think it was like, when Wemby goes, they're like, oh, they might not take him. Everyone's like, shut the fuck up. They're taking him. Dallas did kind of the same thing this year. So, we don't know if we're going to take him. And then literally a day later, Jason Kidd's like, yeah, we're taking Cooper Flag. Like, we're not fucking around here. We traded away Luka Doncic. We're taking Cooper Flag. He averaged, 27-5 over his last 25 games in college. And the motherfucker's 18. He was 17 for a big chunk of last year's fucking season too. For someone to be 18 and putting up the numbers he did in college is pretty fucking remarkable. He's an incredible prospect. The size, the shooting, the defense, the handle, kind of does it all. He's the great white American hope, right? And that's how it's going to go. It's going to be a perfect, interesting, weird fit in Dallas for a bit. But I say perfect because with Kyrie out for a big chunk of this season, it means that, Cooper Flag can sort of just learn on the job. Whether or not they bring back Spencer Dinwiddie, Dante Exum, and co to, be their point guards, they can bring him along as a point forward as much as they need to. Either way, Cooper Flag, awesome prospect, awesome fit, one of the best prospects of the last 10 years. Dallas landing him after trading away Luka Doncic is still completely sus as fuck. But here we are. Cooper Flag going number one. Number two, the San Antonio Banderas Spurs will take Dylan Harper. There has been a little bit more chatter around like San Antonio moving off the number two. That was them kicking the tires and seeing what people would offer up. But really, if I'm the Spurs, and I am not, just to make sure, how often are you going to be able to add supreme, young, cheap talent around Wemby? Like, you've already got Stephon Castle. Radical. You traded a fucking bag of chips and got De'Aaron Fox. Awesome. But Dylan Harper has just that potential of being a James Harden-ish offensive player. Defensively, also super solid. Before Harden goes like on his MVP tear, you think about that sixth man, but the size of him, he was a really interesting sort of dude. Harper's got like a lot of that sort of vibe to him. But with probably, I don't know, because of his size, who knows what the fuck could happen. And if you've got Wemby already and you've got Castle already, like, don't trade down for more assets when you have a potential home run swing right here. So just take Dylan Harper, fucking figure it out, right? Like, you have a potential just to build like another 20-year dynasty around Wemby, Harper, and Castle. You can piss De'Aaron Fox off. He'll have like, a bunch of takers. It's fine if you need to at some point. You can also use him to take the fucking pressure off the young dudes for the next year or two. See how you go. See how they develop. And go from there. But Harper is a supreme talent. You go on number two. Then the draft gets interesting. I'm wearing a Philly hat because I think the draft sort of starts there at 3. And who the fuck knows what's going to happen here, right? I'm actually wearing a Charlotte t-shirt, I realized as well. Philadelphia, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is at number 3. Ace Bailey was sort of at number 3 for a big chunk of this, draft process. Rutgers, so Dylan Harper on Rutgers as well. They didn't even make the fucking tournament. They were a wild disappointment and just never felt like Harper and Bailey never figured out how to fucking play together at all. And so Ace Bailey has also decided to just, not fucking work out for anybody, not visit anybody, all this sort of shit. Daryl Morey probably doesn't give a fuck. He'd be like, if Ace Bailey is the most talented dude that fits our needs the most, we're going to take him. And then you sort of look at the other options there. VJ Edgecombe, supremely talented, athletic, just weapon. You could sort of see him next to Maxey and McCain in that backcourt. Pretty interesting. As long as you've also got Embiid and Paul George still on that team. I barely think about them anymore because who knows what they are, right? VJ Edkem's athleticism just would give them a really fucking nice kick in the ass. But Ace Bailey, look, he could easily go here at number 3 because Daryl Morey goes, yeah, Paul George is just fucking cooked, mate. But you get to like just work off Embiid, work off a couple of guards in Maxey and McCain who are kind of like, happy to, shoulder the scoring burden. And that's sort of probably why Ace Bailey's like, I don't want to go to fucking Philly. They've already got 4 dudes who need the ball. Shit. Fuck that off. So my guess is probably they go VJ Edgecombe at 3. His athleticism would just give them an awesome little bit of a extra edge in that backcourt. They could go rogue and go get Trey Johnson perhaps with that shooting. But Ace Bailey would be the chaos pick. It'd be pretty funny. VJ seems like the one that would fit pretty bloody well. It's not a perfect fit, but he's a very fucking solid player. He could also go Con Knipple. You never know. People love Con Knipple. He keeps rising up the draft boards. It's like, yeah, great. The thing is, VJ, I reckon, probably goes Philly number 3 if they don't go Ace Bailey. 4, if Philly take VJ, if they don't, I'd probably take VJ if I'm Charlotte and go fuck it, figure it out. LaMelo next to VJ and with Brandon Spindles Miller. Kind of love that. But if VJ's gone because Philly take him, would Charlotte take Ace Bailey? Feels a bit gross next to Spindles Miller and LaMelo. Just saying, as well as like fucking Miles, that piece of shit Bridge is still there. Knipple is the interesting pick there for Charlotte. Obviously, you'll see it on a bunch of mocks anyway. They'd love the Duke connection there in Charlotte. Sell some fucking tickets. But he is also super additive, right? And when you got dudes like LaMelo and Spindles Miller, and obviously Miles, that piece of shit Bridges on that team, you kind of need those connective dudes. And Knipple's pretty fucking good as well. So I don't mind that for Charlotte. So he'd probably go there. Because you sort of look at some of the other options. If you go Ace Bailey, I just kind of don't see that working out in any way, shape, or form well for Charlotte or for Ace Bailey. Knipple feels like the best fit basketball-wise. He's the thing that they sort of need to coalesce it. Remember Mark Williams still being on that team? I love that. Anyway, Knipple goes 4 to Charlotte. 5, Trey Johnson. I love this for Utah because Ace Bailey, again, he'd sort of fill a need that they don't kind of have as like that huge, big wing scoring dude. You've got John Collins as a tall cocktail, Larry Markkinen and Co. Kessler. You've got some bigs there. Bailey could maybe fit there, but I think Johnson and his like shooting would be the one that just does it for me if I'm Utah. I'm like, fuck yes. Give me the guard who can shoot the piss out of it. Offensive weapon next to like the fucking very hit or miss Keontae George and Co. I kind of love that for Utah if you're going to get Trey Johnson at 5. Number 6, Washington. Now this feels like it should be one of the big dudes like Derek Queen or Kaman Maliwatch. He's like putting another big next to Alexander Sarr feels like a smart idea. But also it feels like they're just like primed for a swing at Ace Bailey, i.e. we've gotten rid of Jordan Poole. How about we get slightly taller Jordan Poole back? Right? I don't know. Just have a crack, Washington, I guess. Maybe this works out. Ace Bailey at 6. It feels like that's what he's trying to get himself towards. When he's out there going, fuck Philly, I don't want to go to Philly. And you start sort of like going, well, I'm trying to work my way to a specific situation that fits. Like, Washington might be it. It's still basically a clean slate. Have a crack, do your thing. Off you go. Ace Bailey is 6. This era's Cam Reddish, question mark. I don't know. I also kind of like that they've now just got even more steady veteran heads in that locker room. That if Ace Bailey's going to crack the shits and be a fucking dick, they might be able to pull him into line. Who knows? Number 7, the New Orleans Pelicans. This one was tough, right? Because you think about Yves Missy last year, they probably don't need to double down on any size now. So maybe Queen and Maliwatch, you're kind of like, all right, we're going to steer clear. They've moved on CJ McCollum. You get Jordan Poole in. I'm still laughing. Jeremiah feels like the fit here, right? Like, I mean, if Ace Bailey is there for the Pelicans, it would kind of feel like a really good Brandon Ingram replacement because it feels like he could be Brandon Ingram 2.0. Next to Zion, next to Trey Murphy, maybe Ace Bailey kind of fits there, but I mean, I'd rather just go fucking with Trey Murphy and your like battery of like decent defensive wings and then get Fears to replace CJ McCollum, right? Hold the fort till DeJounte comes back. It does feel like that backcourt would be a bit small, but that's probably why Fears goes to 7. If he was a bit taller, because he's what, 6'2" and a bit in without shoes. So he's 6'4", whatever. But he is a bit on the small side, right? So give me 6'3" for Fears. It just feels a little bit janky, but the dude is young as fuck and could be quite awesome. Pelicans might roll the dice there, but Joe Dumars, who knows what the fuck he's going to do. And that sort of lets you get to this point where Brooklyn are picking at number 8. If he drops, Ace Bailey should have been just like all over this shit and be like, I want to go to Brooklyn. But if he doesn't drop, they probably, and it just gets really weird in this exact moment, right? You could get Yakin Tunis from Illinois, Cameron Meliwach, maybe Derek Queen. You've got Nick Claxton, but Nick Claxton, what's he really winning you? He's solid-ish. But, I mean, if you don't get one of those top 7 dudes like Fears or Bailey or Trey Johnson dropping, do you go a big if you're Brooklyn? Personally, if I'm Brooklyn, I would fucking try my absolute hardest to trade up from 8 to like 6, 4, whatever the fuck. Give Charlotte a couple more picks in this first round. Who knows? But I want to move up if I'm Brooklyn. Malwatch, maybe. Wouldn't be surprised by Yakin Tunis as an interesting sort of playmaking kind of dude. Feels like it might be a little bit high for him there, but yeah. Anyway, number 9, Toronto. This is an interesting, like Brooklyn, to go back to Brooklyn, they also sort of need everything, right? Like nothing is locked in. They've got Cam Johnson, but like you'd also just use him as trade bait for next year. So I'm not married to him. So open slather, whoever you like the most there. Meliwatch is interesting, but I mean also bigs when it comes to drafts. They're so fucking hard to judge. Look at Derek Lively a couple of years ago. He worked out great. But those sort of limited skill set dudes, who knows what the fuck they can do. Gets really, really dicey taking him in the top 10. Toronto, the same sort of thing. They also probably need another big or a bigger wing. So Carter Bryant is definitely, I reckon, an option if I was Toronto there. Noah Essengay, interesting. Derek Queen, if he's still there, I'd probably just go him and just go, fuck it. Maybe he's got some more offensive upside. Maybe he gets better on D. We've got Jakob Poeltl up for a new contract next year. Fuck it, who cares? We'll go Queen. Phoenix, they get this one back in the KD deal. Give us some size. Should we go Colin Murray Boyles, Asa Newell, Queen or Meliwach if they're still there, I reckon. Carter Bryant's actually an interesting one as well for Phoenix. He's from Arizona. Didn't do much in college, but, you know, at least he's not a fucking shooting guard. But yeah, Phoenix, just give me some size. So give me Colin Murray Boyles, maybe? Asa Newell? I don't know. We'll go Colin Murray Boyle. Number 11, the Portland Trailblazers. Oh, give me my Jeremy Grant replacement with Carter Bryant. What do you reckon? Like, they're a weird team with lots of young dudes, but also 80 centers. You got, that was the other news as well. Matisse Thybulle picked up his player option of $11 million. Way to get paid, Matisse. Love that. You've got vets like Jrue Holiday and Jeremiah Grant. You got Denny Advisor. Maybe just give me another, and Tumani Kamara. Maybe give me another big wing to go with sort of, behind Jeremy Grant, Denny Avdija, or who can sort of play next to Scoot and Sharp and Tumani maybe. Carter Bryant. Bit of a big 3-and-D wing. Don't mind that. Number 12. If Yakin Tunis doesn't go to Brooklyn at 8, I reckon he'd be an interesting look there. But he is from Illinois. I get it. And it would be kind of interesting to sort of see him just more playmaking on that Bulls team. It'd be interesting behind Gids and Kobe White. But don't they just need a bit of fucking size? Just anything. Or just a little bit of depth on the wings. The Bulls are such a strange fucking team. Like, they've still got Vooch, don't forget. But, like, Carter Bryant, if he drops, maybe Cedric Coward's an interesting one there just because he's, like, an extremely long, rangy wing sort of dude that you kind of probably need. Because the Bulls, I mean, those wings on that team are just, woo-wee. It's like Ayo Dosunmu, Kevin fucking Huerta, Dalen Terry. You've obviously got, I was saying Booz Ellis. So maybe if you go Coward or something there, or you get a backup big that isn't fucking Zachy Collins and Jalen the Spud Smith, maybe Joan Berenguer. That's right, Joan Berenguer. Berenguer. I don't know. I wouldn't mind just rolling the dice with a bit of a wing or a big. Yakachunas, I don't know. Just don't know if I like that fit on Chicago. Yeah. Let's go maybe Coward. Maybe. Berenguer. We'll go Yakachunas for now. I don't like the fit. Because Atlanta, I like the fit of Cedric Coward more. They're at 13, the Atlanta Hawks. They got their center in the Extreme Zinger Meal deal.
The Extreme Zinger Meal.
That sounds pretty. The Extreme Zinger Meal deal. Do I get chips and a drink with that? Nice. Now they just need a little bit more wing depth, right? You got a bit of a J-Dub comp here. Going 13. Next to Dyson Daniels. Just give me long, athletic, defensive wings to pair with Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels, please. I love that. So go give me Cedric Coward if you're Atlanta. 14! The Spurs. 14! The Spurs. Igor Demi. And I love adding passes to the Spurs at all times. Or Joan Berenguer as a Wemby helper backup kind of dude. Would be pretty interesting. But Igor's an interesting vibe for me. It kind of feels like, the Spurs get another crack at the fucking lottery here. They get 2 and 14. Get another passer. Just keep getting passes or piss that off and just get shooters. Like that's all you got to do. Or go get a backup big man because that's like the one thing they kind of don't really have. If you think about the Spurs, like you go, yeah, Wemby, it's fine. And outside of that, you're kind of like, right. Is anyone like doing much damage? Like they've got Bismack Biyombo, Jeremy Sohan and stuff. It's just, ugh. So maybe Berenguer, but Igor Damian right now. Let's go there. 15, OKC. I reckon whoever San Antonio don't take at 14. So whether it be Igor, Joan, Yakinchunas, I reckon one of those three lands at OKC at 15. 16, give me Nick Clifford. Because, look, you look at Jalen Wells for Memphis. They clear out the decks. They get rid of Bane. Just give me another mature wing who can play a bit of fucking defense and shoot threes. That's all I want if I'm Memphis. That's what they get here with Nick Clifford. 17, Minnesota. Look, with Julius Randle and Naz Reid up in the air. Thomas Sorba from Georgetown. Go get another big to back up. I mean, if someone throws a bag at Reid, who knows what's going to happen? He's probably going to come back to Minnesota. But Randle as well, who knows? But Thomas Sorba, that's kind of like they've got Luka Garza, the weapon. So maybe they don't go a big. If they wouldn't, maybe some more shooting and go get Liam McNeely. I don't know, but I've got him going a little bit later. So for the minute, just with the questions around the size on that roster, maybe Thomas Sorba from Georgetown. Washington, Danny Wolf. They're just getting bigs. Because if I've got them taking Ace Bailey, just go give me Danny Wolf, just an offensive big man. That's pretty fun. 19, Brooklyn, Noah Essengay. Roll the dice. Look, he's supremely talented, I reckon. You can sort of just kick the tires on him at 19. Who fucking cares? 20, Miami, Walter Clayton Jr. Boy, do Miami love a senior out of college who knows how to play the right way. Jaime Jaquez Jr., Walter Clayton Jr., just getting all the juniors. That's what it's all about. So Miami, right there. Will Riley's also an interesting name there. 21, Utah. White guy in Utah alert. Liam McNeely. As I said earlier with Utah, just give me a fuck ton of shooting. Like if you can get Lowry and some other shooters on that team that aren't like Keontae George and just like a fucking roller coaster ride. Look, McNeely had a weird season in UConn where they just didn't have a fucking point guard. He might have that same situation in Utah, but still, like Utah, if they take Johnson or Fears, if you get McNeely at 21, I kind of fucking love that. That's a good draft. 22, Brooklyn. Will Riley, I'll take him at 22. Another 3-and-D wing, which is kind of just what they need if you're going to have, I don't know if they bring D'Lo back, but you've still got Cam Thomas on that team. Just give me Will Riley there at 22. Number 23, New Orleans. This is where you could probably get a little bit of size if you want. Asa Newell from Georgia. Give me some size for the Pelicans. Because you think about Eves Missy and stuff, it's like they don't have a lot of big man depth, especially with Zion in and out of the fucking team all the time. You never know what's going to happen, right? But they do at least they just sort of need that extra one big at some point in this draft, whether it be at 7, and if they want to go Maliwatch or Queen, wouldn't be giantly surprised. That means like Fears or Johnson or somebody could slip to Brooklyn at 8. Who knows? But when you turn around and get to this one at 23, this is when you can go get some more size. Asa Newell is right there on my board right now. On my board. I don't have a board. I've just got all my notes. What am I talking about? Number 24, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who also picked at 15. Remember, have 15 players under contract for next year anyway. They will probably trade this one or pick someone who's overseas and let them stay there. Nolan Traore or Hugo Gonzalez. He's out there for Real Madrid. Whoever they pick, they stay overseas. So it doesn't really matter. So that's a 24 OKC. 25 Orlando. It's kind of weird. I don't really have too many more point guards at this point of the draft that would really, really, really help them out. Maybe Traore. He's an interesting sort of look. He's just, I don't know. There's a lot of questions about him, but he's also pretty bloody good. Outside of that, Jace Richardson's still here, so just go get him. He's a little bit smaller, but he's a little bit different from his dad. Can shoot it a bit, see what happens. If Walter Clayton Jr. actually dropped to Orlando at 25, bang, love that. From Florida, off we go. But at the moment, I've already got him going to Miami at 20, so Jace Richardson, they could even swap. Who fucking knows what Miami's going to do? 25 Orlando, Jace Richardson for the minute. Former Magic as well. 26, Brooklyn. I'd probably take them because Brooklyn have got 26 and 27. Whoever they don't take, or whoever OKC don't take at 24 of one of the overseas dudes, Traore, Gonzalez, I dare say Brooklyn takes one of them at 26, 27. The other one I then take for Brooklyn at 27, just keep loading up on 3-and-D wings. Drake Powell. He's like kind of interesting at least. He's kind of big-ish. He wasn't great in one season at UNC, but, I mean, physically, pretty interesting dude. And, I mean, you're not winning shit next year anyway, are you, Brooklyn? Number 28, Boston. Now they've got their pick of the backup white big men. Ryan Kalkbrenner, the dude from Creighton. What's the other dude? Maxime Ramon from Stanford. He's pretty funny. He played with Wemby when he was a kid, so probably take Maxime Renault. Boston are just like, wow, we get another white backup big man? Lock it in. So they're going to go Reynolds or Kalkbrenner right there. 29 for Phoenix. They'd probably take whoever Boston don't take because they're just like, we just need fucking size. Seriously. Yes, we've got Nick Richards, but fucking hell, we've got Nick Richards. It's okay. We've got Mason Plumlee. So probably Kalkbrenner there. And then to close out the first round, I'm not going to do the second round. We're just going to talk the Aussies in a second. Number 30, the LA Clippers. It's an interesting spot as well. The Panda. How about Noah Pender? Or Rashir Fleming? Another interesting sort of big wing behind Kawhi. Probably not a bad idea, but there you go. Who knows what the Clippers are going to do? The Panda's pretty interesting too, as a playmaker. Anyway, but Jim, do the Australian player watch, mate. All right, let's do it. Where are the Aussies going to go, Jim? Well, it's a fascinating setup, right? So you've got Alex Toohey, Tyrese Proctor, Rocco Zikarsky, and Lachlan Olbrich. So Toohey plays for the Kings last year, Proctor for Duke, Rocco for the Bullets, the Bullet, and Lachlan Olbrich for your champion Illawarra Hawks. All listed probably in the second round. If someone was to jump up into the first round, wouldn't surprise me if someone took a bit of a flyer on maybe Tyrese Proctor. If the Clippers were like, we just need another point guard. What do we think? Maybe Orlando for Tyrese Proctor. Just saying. Interesting vibes. Toohey also just has an interesting sort of set of skills. And that a smart team is going to go, Alex Toohey. Love him. And I feel like his range is anywhere in those 30s. So how about we go Alex Toohey to the Spurs? at number 38. And the Spurs don't have to bring him over right away. Just draft and stash. See if he wants to kick around. They can sign him up if they want to. How about Tyrese Proctor? If he doesn't jump into the first round, do you think Detroit could use another backup, well, just a bit of a backup point guard, right? Just a heady place setter. Just a heady place setter there. Because if you think about the second round, I would love Tyrese Proctor to get to Orlando. But in terms of the second round picks, it gets real fucking light on the ground, right? Because, like, as it is, Minnesota goes 31, Boston 32. They might actually go Toohey because he's, like, white as. And to be honest, he's an interesting sort of fit, Toohey, to Boston because they kind of don't have a giant amount of wings on that bench. But either way. The Nets at 36 is very interesting. The Sixers at 35, probably, I don't know. But Proctor, you think about the Hornets at 33 and 34. Again, if they just load up on Duke guys, they probably won't go wrong. I'm just saying. But anyway, so probably Tyrese to Charlotte at 33 or 34. I really don't mind him, however, on Detroit. Because if you just think about that Pistons roster, they've got a lot of wings. They get Jaden Ivey back next year. They had Dennis Schroeder as their backup point guard. They've got Sasa sort of floating around. Proctor's like a really good table setter. It's pretty interesting to see where he'd go. But I'd probably say around, that mid-30s role as well. Rocco is another fascinating one as well. Minnesota have the 31 pick. Would they go Rocco that fucking high? I just don't know if they would. He's worked out with them, etc. for a bunch, but I just don't know if they go that high on Rocco. He probably falls a little bit further. How about Utah for Rocco at 43? You know? Just a bit more size back there behind Kessler and co. The Thunder at 44, they could just take him and kick him back to Brisbane and just let him just work out how to figure out how to play basketball. I think one of the mocks has got him going at 41 to the Warriors, which is pretty interesting. They just do need size, and he is just an interesting roll of the dice in the second round. But yeah, it feels like Minnesota at 31 might be a little bit too high. They might just trade back and take him a little bit later. Utah at 43 is an interesting one too. Obviously 41 for the Warriors. The Pelicans, if they don't go another big in 23, maybe they go Rocco at 40. Don't know. There is a mock that's got like Alex Toohey going to the Bulls. I think he probably goes a little bit earlier. The Bulls are like there at 45. But Toohey and Gids on the same team. Sign me up. And then finally, Lachie Olbrich. I think Phoenix have got a pick at 52. And as I said, Phoenix just need dudes who aren't fucking shooting guards. So let's send Lachie Olbrich to the Phoenix Suns. So there you go. That is the entire first round of tomorrow's draft and the Aussies all wrapped up for you. We'll see what happens when we do our live stream of it tomorrow morning. I can't wait. We'll have a couple of Bloody Marys, hang out, talk some shit throughout the entire broadcast. It should be fun. Let's take a quick break and come back with some very brief yeah-nahs right after this one. Oh, yeah. Let's play it.
Hey, what's up? This is Nick Hexum from 311, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
All right. How good is it hearing from Nick Hexum from 311? Love it. Oh, I've read the Sum 41 book, the Derek Whibley book. Go and read that. It's fucking good. I've just been listening to Sum 41 the last bunch of days. It's been sick. Harrowing shit, some of it. Hey, anyway, yeah-nahs are brought to you by you. By shouting us a beer, shouting us a coffee. The link is in our bio. We are currently putting together the first unique standalone podcast that sign-ups to the member tier get as part of signing up. Obviously, you support the show when you sign up, which is awesome, but there is the Dead Set Legends tier where you get a unique specific only for those members show once a month as well. So we're going to be doing that probably this week. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. So sign up if you want to. That's all good. Shout us a beer. Shout us a coffee. Jump on there. It's the links in our bio across the social. Off you go. Thanks to all the legends that have already signed up. Appreciate you heaps. Keeping this pirate ship afloat. Right, let's do some yeah-nahs. It is Jez Oz. Hey, Jim, what a fucking final series. I don't give a fuck what whoever they are, say it was awesome. Yeah, nah. Yes, it was fucking incredible. I had so much fun during that Pacers Thunder series. God damn. It's just such a oh, that was the other update we didn't really have. Tyrese Halliburton blew his Achilles. Yeah. No shit. It was a brutal one. Anyway, Jez, I have 2 yeah-nahs for you today. First one on the finals. Adam Silver and his minions bit harder the media narrative that no one will watch 2 small market teams and acted accordingly by not promoting the series as the showcase that it is, not hoping the drama of a really hard-fought series by scheduling the draft 2 days after Game 7 and by allowing trades to be done during the finals. Yeah, nah. I love this because it's just enough conspiracy fuckery that I'm kind of on board. They're like, oh, God, we've got a fucking final series between Indiana and OKC. No one's going to watch. Make sure we get a Kevin Durant trade. That'll get people amped. No! As we saw, it was the most watched finals game since 2019. Back when you had the Warriors at their pomp up against Kawhi and the Raptors, right? And then all of the Warriors got injured. I sort of still think they only discovered by Game 6, Game 7, just how fucking intense and awesome this final series was. And they finally leaned into it. Meanwhile, you got fucking Stephen A. Smith playing solitaire. You've got fucking Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. just saying the dumbest shit you've ever fucking wouldn't ever believe. They fucking had those horribly weird projected Larry O'Briens and shit on the fucking TV screen. That was a mess. I don't know how they're chasing their ass so often, but it's fucked. But anyway, as I said the other day, the smart thing is it rolls from Game 7 straight into the draft, straight into free agency. So you don't have like any sort of dip where you don't go away from the attention around the NBA. So that's actually pretty smart. But I think they were packing their dacks about no one watching this fucking final series. So we're like, hey, make the Kevin Durant trade, Houston and Phoenix, or you're both fucked. And then Jez's other one is Houston win a ring or the Durant trade is a bust. Simple as that. Yeah, nah. Nah. I think it's a great swing. And I think Houston adding Durant is a really awesome move for the specific purpose of going, how the fuck do we go toe-to-toe with OKC in a series, right? This year, Houston couldn't beat Golden State. They had no one who could fucking hit a shot. They get Kevin Durant. As long as he stays healthy, he gives them a great puncher's chance. And I think that might actually be, even if they don't win a ring, Durant could have a lasting impression on the rest of this Rockets team, right? If he can like help foster like Amen Thompson, Reed Shepherd, just get like these sort of other weapons rolling, give them a little bit of leeway to fuck up and get better and better and better. I think that's a bit of a win for Houston as well, right? Like you're not getting that with Dylan Brooks. You're not getting it with Jalen Green. So I don't know if it'd be a bust if they don't win a ring, but I think they've definitely thrown their hat into the ring, if you will, as a legit fucking contender for next year. And I'll be smashing their overs on wins. Speaking of which, last couple of yeah-nahs. KD trade a win-win? Yeah, nah. I mean, nah, because Phoenix got some stuff back. But remember how much they gave up for him. The great graphic is floating around of like what Phoenix traded, what was it, 5 first, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, essentially for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, 5 second-rounders, and the number 10 pick in this year's draft. But anyway, it's a win for Houston, no matter what. I don't think it'll be a bust as long as he stays healthy. He just gives them the perfect offensive weapon to throw in the mix as long as they bring back Fred VanVleet. But yeah. Hey, are Washington being smart? Yeah, nah. Dunno. It feels like there should be some sort of... I mean, it's smart getting off Jordan Poole, first and foremost. I also don't mind the idea of just getting some veterans in there to teach that young Houston team that has been so fucking just like rudderless, so directionless for so long that just can point them in the right direction maybe. You know? Philly never did that and they were fucked while they did the process. Washington, you can lose as many games as you want, and it doesn't exactly matter when you end up with the number 2 pick in a draft where you get Alexander Sarr, and you're like, cool. Whereas the year before, don't get Wemby, this sort of shit, because you didn't tank properly. It's very, very strange. But I like them just like giving them some steadying presences. Hey, does the extreme Zinger meal help out Atlanta?
The extreme Zinger meal.
There you go. Yes. I think it's pretty solid for Atlanta, right? Like you look at all this stuff as I went into this draft, I'm like, well, they probably just need to go get another big, right? Now they've just traded for a big by giving up Trey Mann, and that's kind of it. Or Niang, right? Yeah, Niang, Trey Mann go out. And you get a big in there who can block some shots. Onyeka Okongwu's still there. You get another wing. Help out Dyson Daniels on the defensive end, and away you go. The Zinger, look, just opens up the offense a little bit more. Who knows what could happen there, but I kind of like it next to Rissa Shea and Jalen Johnson and Trey and Dyson. So, I don't know. Atlanta, though, they do this to you. They do fool us a lot. Hey, did Portland really just fuck all this up? Yeah, nah, kind of feels like it. But again, steadying veteran presence, clearing out Anthony Simons. I don't know. It's just a lot of money to pay for veteran fucking know-how. And finally, before we get to the odds and stuff on the other things, let's do a unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
This leans into the unpopular opinion of the day is probably also the Outback Takehouse. It's Wednesday at Outback. You know what that means? Hump day. That's right. We've caught a couple of feral camels in the Outback. You just slice off the humps, roast them. They get a bit fucking dry, but what you do, bit of mince, bit of spice, couple of chickpeas, boom. Camel hump haggis. It's the hump day special at Outback. And today's Flame Girl take is Adam Silver and the NBA need to fucking fix this draft. Not fix it as in like rig it, but they need to fix the swaps situation in the NBA right now and draft pick trades. It's fucked. We need a freeze or a moratorium on like all swaps after 2031 at this point. Like we can't have any. We need to reset the market on draft picks and fucking serve the fans. The chaos of who owns what pick and who controls this one is fucked for the casual fan. And what we know is that if you make shit too complicated for fans, they tune out. They just go, what? You guys are fucking... I don't want to do maths. I don't have to read up on the 4 different permutations, whether or not I've got a draft pick next year. Like psychos like me will fucking still love it. But if you're just a happy casual who loves fucking basketball and is like a fucking fan of Team X, and you don't know if you have a pick next year because it's fucking swapped with this, and that, it's fucking stupid. Just fix it, Adam. And while we're at it, same as the NFL. If there's a fucking trade on draft night, just give the bloke of the hat where he's going to end up. I don't care that it hasn't been scrutinized to the nth degree to make sure if it's legal or not. He's going to fucking end up there. Give him the hat. Serve the fans. It's the one thing the NBA's really got to fucking figure out with this shit around the draft. Serve the fans. The NFL did it so well this year that it was fucking stupid. It's like, we've got a draft, trade. Bang, he's going here, he's going here. And they bring the dude out and he's wearing the fucking hat of the right team. The NBA just go, oh, well, it's only agreed to in principle. We're not entirely sure. The new league year doesn't start till July 6th, so nothing's actual like locked away. Shut up. Just give him the fucking right hat. Serve the fans. It's so dumb. Fuck. All right, the final little bit. We'll take a quick break and come back with the look at some of these draft odds, shall we? Right after, let's hear from Delhi. Where is he? There he is.
This is Matthew Delvedova, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do the Patty Mills game day or game day Twitter check-in before we get in there. What's Patty been up to? Oh, there's Luke Travers. Oh, he's at home. Oh, that's nice. Pretty good. Hanging out. Has Patty done anything? Let's have a look. No, nothing new from Patty. That's right. All right. Let's have a look at some of these draft odds. It's a bit of a weird one because with 1 and 2 sort of locked away, a lot of the times you're trying to do like the the order of like 1, 2, 3. And there's not a giant amount of markets out there, but it's still probably, obviously, Cooper Flag, Dylan Harper. And then if you want to go 1, 2, 3, I'd probably say VJ, Edgecombe, Con Knipple, as I had them in my draft preview then. The interesting one for me, though, is like Ace Bailey. If there's a bit of a smoke screen, you can still get him at like, I don't know, I think it's like $6 or whatever, just to go 3 to Philly. And it feels like if he just it goes at number 3, like if Brooklyn trade up, it might be to go get him. If somebody else trades up, it might be to get him. If you think about the other teams there at number 3, Knipple is at $6.50 as well. But like Edgecombe's the stark favorite to go. Trey Johnson, number 5, is the favorite at the moment. Fears is also basically tied with him. Ace Bailey is at, just after them. But Johnson and Fears for number 5 are at $3. Pretty interesting. Number 4 overall, Con Knipple. Stark favorite. VJ Edgecombe at $4.75. Trey Johnson, $6.50. I don't know. Who knows what the fuck Charlotte could do, but Knipple's obviously the stark raving favorite. To be a top 5 pick, Knipple, $1.08. Trey Johnson, $1.45. Ace Bailey, $1.50. Yeah, there's some pretty weird ones, right? Top 10. The one that I do like the most here in the top 10 is Noah Essengay is actually $1.80 to go top 10. So, Jesus. So someone's got a bit of mail about that. It could be Toronto actually going a bit of a size. Yakutunis also at $2. Igor Demin definitely feels like either of those two dudes could end up at Brooklyn at $8 if the rest of their dudes are gone. Derek Queen at $1.90 as well. Don't mind that too. So, but if I had to look at the exact order of stuff, it's probably Flag 1, Harper 2, Edgecombe 3, Knipple 4, Trey Johnson 5. And if you look at some of those markets, they are out there. And I'd probably feel pretty good about it. But basically, Flag's unbackable at 1, Harper's unbackable at 2. 3 is where it's getting interesting. And I still kind of think Ace Bailey's like an interesting sort of just play. Because like if people are smoke screening him, just going, no, he didn't want to meet with us. Sure. One of those teams might trade up to 3 anyway, just to make sure they get him. So that Charlotte don't do something whack or, whatever. So it could be Washington, could be Brooklyn. They've got some assets floating around. Who knows? You just think about all the veterans that Washington have acquired as well. You can't tell me that like a wannabe contender like Philly wouldn't be like, all right, we'll take your first, but also one of your vets off your hand because we just need fucking warm bodies at this point. Like, what are we doing? So let's see if there's any other interesting ones out there. NBA sports. I can't believe I clicked away from it. That was stupid, Jim. The draft. Yeah, the top 10 picks ones are out there. That's about it. First 4 picks, exact order. Flag, Harper, Edgecombe, and Knipple. As mentioned, that's $1.50. If you think, I don't know, Ace Bailey goes 3 and Edgecombe goes 4, that's at $10. I probably wouldn't mind a look at that too. There's a couple of good ones. A top 20 pick, Asa Newell is a really good one. I reckon he probably falls in there in the top 20. Liam McNeely at $1.91, maybe. And where can we find the Aussies? Do we have any Aussie ones there? No. That's a pain. Player draft position. No. Jerks. Anyway, so there's some pretty good ones. Like Maliwak, over 8.5, $3.10. Under 8.5, $1.34. So it feels like the bookmakers have got his ceiling at number 8 and goes before there. I feel like he might slip out a little bit. It's interesting. But that just might be me not liking centers. Derek Queen, under 11.5. That feels like a lock for me. But again, when you've got those sort of two bigs in Maliwak and Queen that are sort of like, there's teams that need centers in those first 11 picks. Wouldn't be surprised if both of them are gone. So it's pretty interesting. Igor Demin, over under is 14.5. I'd probably go the over for him there. And Yakutunis, under 11.5 is $1.77. So that's the favorite. Over 11.5. So that'd be like him at 12 to Chicago, $1.97. Pretty interesting. Carter Bryant being a top 10 pick, maybe $1.91. Don't know. But I like Derek Queen, top 10. Essengay. So they really think that he'll probably end up at Toronto, I guess, at number 9. Anyway, that's it. Holy crap, we covered a lot of ground today, didn't we? Yes, Jim, you really did. So that'll be us done for today, and we'll do the live stream tomorrow morning from around 10 a.m., 10:30. Keep an eye on the socials for that. We'll have it going live, and you can jump on, say g'day. Track along with all the picks, all that sort of stuff. We might do another one on Friday, but I do have, doctor physio stuff for the Achilles on Friday. So we'll see how we go with more live shit with the Aussies being picked. But either way, we'll figure it out. But either way, live stream tomorrow morning from around 10 a.m. Check it out. Jump on, say g'day, hang out with your mate Jim. Remember, you can always go support the show with the links in our bio of shout us a coffee, shout us a beer, or you can jump on Dabble, use that code NBA Australia, follow all of our picks. We'll have a bunch of draft picks up there as well as of tomorrow morning, so go check that all out. Otherwise, make sure you're following us on NBA Australia Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube. I had the really fun sort of little teaser video for the draft, this draft preview and the draft live stream tomorrow go up yesterday. That was pretty fun. Check us a rating review on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, YouTube, whatever app you use on your Android phone. It really does help out. So rate, review, star, subscribe, all that good stuff. Jump on, say g'day, send through DMs for Nars. We'll still have a show Thursday, obviously, to wrap up the draft, and then Friday to wrap up the second round. And then we'll have free agency next week. So we've still got plenty to do, and it's going to be pretty fun. So big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. Check out House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinated Gold by Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Search Jedi, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. So smash them all on Apple Music, Spotify, all that good stuff. And that's it. I'm going to get out of your hair. I've already gone super long, so we will catch you for the live stream tomorrow, you dickheads. Somewhere around 10 a.m. Just jump on the socials and say g'day. All right, we'll speak to you then. Can't wait for it. The bloody NBA draft is the best. This is NBA Australia saying, look after yourselves, would ya? And later. Oh, let's do number one. G'day, legends. Your mate Jim from NBA Straya here. That's right, I'm doing a thing at the end of the show. In the business, we call it a thing at the end of the show, I guess. I don't know. Either way, all I'm just saying is just make sure you're rating, reviewing, starring, subscribing across all of the apps that you use for NBA Australia. Jump in the comments, give us a shout. We'll bang you in, Nars. Any other questions? I'll have a crack. I've got nothing better to do, basically. Also, just ask any questions, tell me what you want to hear from the show, and sing out and let us know. And of course, if you want to help support the show, jump on the old Dabble, use that code NBA Australia, click on the link that's in the show description or on the socials. It goes up whenever I do the morning vibes, etc. So if that's your thing, jump on there, use that code NBA Australia, and remember, look after yourselves, would you?